a big day. So we've got my client call, and we're going to discuss recovery, fatigue management, and relaying feedback when it comes to recovery, and relaying feedback when it comes to deloads as well, and devolumes. So today we're going to kind of break down how I devolume, how I deload, and what my preferred method and approach is to do that. And we will dig into a little bit of info on the client call that I have planned for my team that I run every Saturday morning. So you'll get a glimpse of that as to what I go through with them as well. So pretty big, exciting day. We might actually go and do our devolume session at Normanton Gym as well, I have a think. As they do have got a decent hack squat there. As if it's a devolume session for me, again, I know for a fact if I'm back home and I'm doing legs, I will probably take the piss. So it might be a smart option to actually go and do the session somewhere else. So I don't. Yeah, so I don't kill it. But yeah, it's a good gym anyway. It's obviously on the UltraFlex, a little bit different to ours, so you'll get to see a glimpse of how it looks. But again, we'll see. I'll make a decision swiftly later on.
She's ready for a close-up. Oh yeah.
Who says wellness means acting our own age? And we shouldn't do pizza before Pilates. We say...
How are you today, Big Meg?
Feeling better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Not being well. I had the Rona, and then I got over the Rona, and then I went to the gym, and then the day later I had something wrong with my tummy. I don't know what was the matter with it, but I ended up in hospital, and apparently I had an infection in my intestines, so they had to flush that out, which wasn't very nice. But no, this is the first day after a week where I actually feel like myself. So I'm just annoying Ed and Cooper for the day. So full on man. No, but I'm feeling good. Gonna train legs today, so that'd be nice. I like training legs. I actually went into the gym the day that I was allowed out from isolation and trained to push, and I just didn't want to be there. And that's not like me, so I knew that there was still something a bit wrong. So apparently I had some kind of infection. I'm just an infection. I'm a virus. I'm a big infected virus. I feel good today, so it's all good.
Guys, you've gotta be smarter.
So quick little walk, get my steps in before our client call. So get ready for the lecture to begin.
Yes, making money is a priority.
There we go. Right, here we go. This week I have had a week of basically high levels of fatigue across the board with a lot of clients. So I definitely feel like today we need to touch on more so fatigue management and more so being honest with relaying the actual information. I think it's actually quite good with having Dara on this as well, because he's going to have a lot to contribute regarding this as well. But obviously, first and foremost, deload versus devolume, when and how. That's the first bit I want to touch on before I actually get into the actual signs and how to relay the actual feedback as to what can actually happen, and when to pinpoint what you need to do and when. So first and foremost, devolume versus deload. My personal opinion is this: when we accumulate fatigue, it is fatigue accumulated through training volume. It is not necessarily load, because the way we've got to look at it is it's not so much the loading factor that drives the fatigue, because we do not work in rep ranges that would drive central nervous system fatigue as we would with powerlifters. That is not what we do, because we always work in high rep ranges. As a standard with a powerlifter, they normally, when they deload, they actually start working in higher rep ranges and drop the volume down. We already work in higher rep ranges, so for us, my preference is always a devolume and then opt to actually take the back off sets, which is the higher rep range working sets, which in essence, that is actually forcing you to work with less load anyway. So you get the best of both worlds, because essentially you're not reducing the load, which there's no impossible way to actually get any negative impact in terms of obviously muscle loss, because again, you're still giving your muscle a reason to hang about there. So the reason why I always prefer is to actually opt for an actual volume style approach is because when you go for a week where you significantly drop load and volume, I feel like it almost takes you another week to get back to a place where your body is accustomed to actually using that load again. So for me in past, if I was to totally take a rest from the gym, it would actually take me a while to get back going. So I'd probably need 3 to 4 sessions to actually get back on track and allow my body to get back to a place where it's able to handle some load and volume. So with a D-volume setup, because you're still utilizing some load and all you are doing is you're cutting volume in half, you don't get that gracing period where it takes you another 3 to 4 sessions post that time frame to get back to right. After generally 4 to 5 sessions, possibly even 6 if you are severely fatigued, that is when you know you can obviously kind of take the stabilizers off and go at full pace and full speed, so to speak, post that deload. So that is mainly the reason why I opt for a D-volume rather than a standard deload approach, as people like to say. The only time I would ever have significant amount of time off away from the gym is if you were sick or you was generally in a place where mentally and physically you are extremely fatigued to the point where you are not able to even focus or not able to even have effective sessions at a lower volume. So does anyone have any questions regarding as to why we devolume rather than deload? So let's move on and let's discuss, when are you truly ready to get back to work post a deload? And I am the worst person for this. I will definitely pull my hand up. The second I start feeling better, and for me feeling better is genuinely just not feeling like death, and I think for many of you that will be the same. So the second I start feeling better, I'm like, right, I'm ready to go now. And generally I'll kind of misjudge my deloads, as I did pretty much 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I did 2 D-volume sessions and 2 rest days, and after the 2 D-volume sessions I started to feel really good. So I was like, there's no point carrying on, let's just get back to it. And that's resulted in me having to devolume prematurely again 3 to 4 weeks later. So when to determine you're ready to get back to work, just simply feeling good is not enough. I literally want you to be honest with yourself and be like, right, I am literally dying to get in the gym and dying to get back to my full training volume. Unless you feel that way, and unless you've got that emotional feeling towards higher workload and you are almost in a mental state where your readiness to do so is extremely high, you are not fully recovered. Because the likelihood is, if you go back in prematurely, you will probably need to deload again, just like I have done, again, way too prematurely. So from here onwards, even for myself, for many of you, I program fixed devolume amounts just to avoid making that mistake. So for many of you, even though your feedback is great and immense, I still like to do that as a precautionary measure to make sure that the D-volume is correct. And some of you even, you'll get back to me and you'll relay the information. I'll be like, right, couple more D-volume sessions are needed to get back right, just as I did with Gemma just recently. From all this that I've mentioned, I'm pretty sure and I'm certain every single one of you can probably relate to at least 1 or 2 things I've mentioned and be like, right, this is me, this is definitely a sign of me overreaching and actually getting into a fatigue state. This is when I need to recognize it and relay the information. And I think a lot of us definitely fail on being fully transparent with relaying that information, and including myself. I like to lie to myself. I'm not fully honest with myself at times regarding to how fatigued I truly am or how much fatigue I actually dropped, because naturally we all want to make as much progress as we physically can. So for us, a lot of us were looking at deload as almost a place where we stand still and don't make progress, but that is not the case. Whilst we're deloading, we are still making progress, and not only that, the way we have to look at it is, it's going to allow us to make even more progress once the deload is over. So the perception of doing this needs to change. At the same time, do not use it as an excuse to be taking your foot off gas. In order for a deload to be effective and actually do its job, you have to reach that point where you are almost overreaching, or you are at a point where you're already overreaching. If you don't reach that point and then call it deload, you're kind of wasting time. You need to be able to reach that point first in order for it to be effective. So again, it's a fine balance where you need to get that measure right, where you don't take it over the edge and you don't call a deload prematurely. And I think a lot of us that hit almost new levels of performance, what you'll realize is high body weight and high levels of performance, you will almost feel like you need a deload consistently and constantly, because you're riding that line where you're reaching a new homeostasis and you're reaching new heights of performance, new heights of musculature, and with that will unfortunately come imminent constant fatigue. And that is something that cannot be helped. And this is where you know that you need to differentiate that difference between, am I truly fatigued, or am I just seeing new levels of performance and am I reaching new heights of body weight, new heights of musculature? Because that is also a big difference. So there is a little bit of a caveat to this. You know, you have to be able to really interpret the difference between being in a new place rather than just being fatigued. And that is a very, very hard one to actually be able to see and pinpoint for yourself. So guys, any questions? Anything you guys got to contribute, or anything you're unsure of? No? Right, thank you for today, guys. It's been a blast. And again, please make sure you relay the information properly and correctly. If you are truly honest with yourself, always be fully transparent, because the likelihood of trying to hold off from needing to pull back, it's likely going to cost you a lot of progress and time as well, which again, time is of the essence. We cannot afford to lose any weeks of progress. So again, we'll probably touch more on this individually as we all chat, as we go through check-ins. But for now, thank you guys. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will catch up soon. I'll see you all next week. Oh, sweating. Man's wet through. Man's not hot. Never hot. My voice completely gone now. I did have a bit of a tickler throat as well, but it seems to have completely gone right now. Jesus Christ. Deload, now I'm getting poorly. That's when you know you need a deload. Jesus. Alright, so that was pretty much an overview on what I do and how I like to approach my deloads as well. And this is something I've done with many of my clients. I've done it myself numerous times. So when you've done something so many times with so many different people, you kind of come up with the most, I would say the most efficient way of doing things as well. Because you've done it and the experience is there, so you know exactly what approach to take. So try it out for yourself. Let me know how you get on, guys, and comment below with your experiences between a devolume and a deload. Ooh. We've got a Cyril and Ganu fight tonight. Cyril, Gene, Gan versus Ngannou. I've got a prediction for tonight. Cyril Gan, third round through a submission or KO. That is my prediction, third round for Cyril Gan. Or first round knockout. But I don't think Ngannou's going to do it. I've got a feeling that he's going to get submitted in third round. So that's my prediction for tonight's fight. We'll see. This is obviously going to be out after the fight, so at least know if my prediction were any good or shit. If it's crap, you're more than welcome to roast me. So a little bit more input on the fatigue management factor, and that's going to be me talking from experience. So hopefully you can get something away from that for yourselves as well, because again, everyone's different, but in general, the signs that we notice are not that far, and what's that word saying? Far and few between. How do you say?
Few and far between.
Few and far between. Whatever that said, right? So for me, the main thing that I always notice as well is not even so much my temper, but definitely my mood starts to dip, and it's something that I definitely feel like many people overlook. I personally, for my programming and for my clients, I use the perceived recovery scale, which actually breaks down your mood in and out of the gym. And I'll get a little picture on the side here of Ed bringing it up and showing you what it is. That's something that many of you could probably utilize as a potential tool to be able to recognize the patterns and recognize when it is time to pull back on your training volume or rest, or implement a devolume or a deload should you need one accordingly, especially from all the information that I provided earlier. And obviously now you will get to see me actually go through a session and show you exactly how to run a devolume session and not, hopefully, touch wood, not run myself into the ground, which is the hardest part for me, and I think the hardest part for all of you watching this as well. When we do have a passion for something, it's very hard to pull back sometimes. It's very hard to keep yourself reserved. However, it's essential, it's part of the process in order to be able to maximize the progress. So it's not about necessarily what you can do, it's what you can do and recover from. This is exactly the point that I try to make to many of you guys watching and many of my clients as well. So hopefully this episode helps many of you make your own decisions as to how you can manage your own fatigue and how you can manage your own training in order to get the most out of it and not spin wheels through just constant fatigue state, which inevitably leads to worse performance and potentially even muscle loss if you try and ride out a period of extended fatigue. That would definitely impact your performance and potentially to even muscle loss if you let it. So let's all try and stay massive, let's all try and stay gaining, and let's all be wise and mature with our choices and decisions regarding our fatigue management, because I believe fatigue management has a massive carryover into your personal life and life in general, because for me, if I allow my fatigue to creep in too much, my performance won't be there in business either. So I need to make sure I'm always sharp and switched on. And for me, that's definitely all intertwined and interlinked with bodybuilding and what I do outside of the gym as well. So definitely a key important aspect for you all.
Fat arse out.
This is good. You're fluffy, but good fluffy.
You don't seem like nasty fluff. It's not like that.
It's not podgy.
Fat, yeah.
It's not podgy, do you know what I mean? Even the side, the waist is like, yeah. Even though the leg volume isn't really high, your legs are still loaded up, which is good. If your leg volume is higher on legs, I think your legs will take off.
I'm not against that though.
Oh no, you don't need it. Because if you needed it, it'd be fair enough, but you don't. You can still get this out of triceps, so you're not big enough yet.
Yeah, no.
We need 10 more pounds.
Yeah, that's good, fair. Do it like your shoulders roll forward. There. So, and as well, you know, when you turn it back and you look over your shoulder, hand on legs, because we want to always see the lines down the
It's a lot better with your leg now as well. You just standing like that, do you know what I mean? Like, if you like...
We've made it, it's not fully to the front.
What?
The front.
Yeah, you look back like that now.
Because when she does it fully to the front, it makes away, it doesn't make away as quick because her hips are
She don't need it, she don't need it. The girls that put the hand, like, foot forward, the girls with like no hips. So you definitely don't need it.
Yeah, no. So go into your transition shot. Do you want my hand on it? Yeah. And then say thank you and walk off.
Do you do that as well? Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. bring that hip even higher, like this, place that hip. Because you know when you come in, like this will be non-existent. So if you bring that hip up, like this will literally disappear. So at minute you probably don't see it as much, but when you do come in, like your hip and your glute will literally look like the same size as your waist. So your proportions will be crazy. So when you get that side shot, really emphasize that's it. Yeah.
Now see that you do the arm.
Here we fucking go. You all good here?
Yeah.
You're training, yeah?
Properly, yeah. I've just finished, mate. Just done a
Good
bit
man.
more.
Nice to see you, bro.
When you get a chance, a little chat. I just want to sort out something with push-pull legs, a different thing.
Drop me a message, send me an email, I'll send you a plan. Here we go. We actually filming that?
Yeah, we are filming that.
Oh, that sound. He's actually at a gym I used to train at 4 or 5 years ago. It's a lad called Rob. So, to send him a plan. But he's a good lad. I've not seen him in a long time. So it's quite nostalgic to see people from back in the day when I was a young gun, a little boy. It's quite nice. So. Starting to feel good already. This is something we spoke about earlier. Starting to feel quite good already, so it's going to be quite hard to rein myself in and hold back. So at the moment we're running 2 leg sessions. One of them is a little bit more challenging than the other. So today we'll opt for the one that we know we're not going to get carried away with. So that is predominantly leg press session. If we do the Cybex hack session with my emotional attachment as well as that movement, I would send it. So I'm not going to make that mistake. We'll be sensible, go with the option that's going to be a little bit less demanding from a fatigue standpoint, which makes sense at this point. So play your cards wisely. Here we go, motherfuckers. Here we go, here we go. Yep. Take through. Easy. How's that? What? How many? What?
I said 9. I said 9.
I was just about to fucking kick off then. The one thing I hate about deloading is when I get warmed up, I'm fucking ready. But I can't go. Because if I go now, I'm just prolonging the process. But I genuinely already feel a lot better after 2 days off. And that one devolume session, I already feel like I can switch it on. So that's already a positive sign, because I know by the time I come to Friday, I'm going to be fucking ready to let go. So I might even get Ed to come in and film the first session back post deload. We can have a bit of a series going then that way. And you'll see the difference in how much I can switch it on. And you can compare that session to the last push session that I did, which inevitably I was quite fatigued already at that session. So you'll be able to see the difference between what it looks like when you're on the verge of overreaching and what it looks like when you're fresh. So that'll be a good one for you to watch. I'll go 2 at a time. The goal is just to match the same weight, same reps as last time. So I'm definitely make sure I'm not going to carry away. I'm not going to take the piss. I will execute the way I need to without being a dick. That's the goal. What? 2 more. Zen that shit. Have to be fucking calm, collected, but focused. Which is harder than you think. Because you need a degree of aggression to bring the focus. Yes, please, yes. Right. Just cue me as well, just so I don't get carried away.
Yeah, I'll unrack and then walk around with you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay. Oh. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Oh.
Okay, okay. Perfect. Let's go. Easy, don't even switch it on. Easy. Hey, come. Let's go. Left. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. 11. Oh, you switch on. Let's go.
Match from last time. I could have got at least another 3. What? Oh yeah, but that was still matched my top set from last time, and last time I had to proper switch it on, which is promising really, because I know next time going to that,
I reckon you had it out honestly for it.
I'm going to do a backup set with that next time. Can't be a hypocrite, because it's exactly what I said on the call earlier, is
I'm going to go in gym with a plan and I'm going to execute it. So I can't go back on my word really. I would tend to then to just fucking let it rip. I'd have probably got another 4 reps, maybe 5, if I really switched it on. But then I would have been fucked. Like a fucking ballerina, mate. I'm a fucking mobile motherfucker! What are you fucking saying? Gangster fucking socks. Here we go. Big man thing. Let's fucking get him. All day, baby.
So I started training and I'm fit right now. Just shit get bad. That makes you get bad now. You just shit right now. I was on a different wave last year. I was on the road trying to get paid last year. I paid 72 for 1 box of haze. When I got back that street today, I went straight into production here. And the full body seemed like Breaking Bad. Training for 2 whole weeks and they had no but frozen peace. Driving around with the box on the floor. Just one to the blue compartment. A bunch of my scene. Box in the bed, man. Wrapped up left in a little back garden. I was in a crop gas so long, but I hit roll. Man told me I look like Tarzan. I got full face body with 9 holes in the right that I just feel like a spark. Don't get roll off. Instead I'm proud of the joke. Got me, he's already sawn off. But the most things is green.
50.
See, right? She let them see me shine. And I just say thanks to my true fans. You know what I mean? I'm grateful. I'm no longer facing time. How do I look at my DC? Think I should change this footwear. Something a little more formal. No? Alright, let's celebrate life.
Let's go. Where's the lead? There we go. Oh, they got it. Easy. There we go. What was that? Fuck's sake. Got an extra rep. I cheated. I cheated. Motherfuckers. Yeah. Walk out on stage with a massive 3rd leg. What? DJ! Stop fucking about with music! So just have your right arse cheek on the chair. Just your right arse cheek on the chair. See what I mean now?
Yeah.
It's like you want to be smoothing the cable. Here, that's all in one line.
Yeah.
Yeah? Try it now.
Makes sense.
Try it. Try it now. Tension that glute. Tension that glute. Keep it. Watch what happens to your shoulder when your wrist is pronated. No, wait, stop. Watch what happens to your shoulder when you turn this.
Yeah.
See that now? It's in.
Yeah.
The second you move that up, see what happens to your shoulder and your elbow.
Yeah.
Drink in. Shoulder stays down, elbow stays in, with more internal rotation at your elbow for your lat.
Yeah.
Let's go. See what I mean now?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't twist. Keep this insane supination.
All the way through, yeah.
There, yeah. Pause there, and now drive it in hard. There. Pause. In. There. Yep. Inhale on your way back. Inhale. Boom. Exhale. Yes. Yeah. What? Yeah, bye-bye. circle. It's still easy. Let's go. Come on there, failure, let's go. Yeah. And again. One more. I'll take one. Let's go. Lovely. Bye, bar. Yes. Go. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what was that? Very successful session. And I feel mentally and physically fresh. That's the whole point of a deload, devolume for me. Whatever you want to fucking call it. It's just a period of dropping fatigue. Fatigue accumulation is not just from a physical standpoint, it's also from a mental standpoint. Training the way we do mentally takes a lot out of you. So to be able to go into these sessions and still get the job done without driving neurological fatigue through hyping yourself up and driving that controlled aggression in is definitely the right way to go for me, because the analogy I gave for this earlier, I'm not sure if I'd actually got that for you all, but sometimes when you're in a detrained state and you're rested completely, you have to ease yourself back into training. So you have to slowly build up your intensity and your volume. So the approach going back in would be generally 1 RIR, 2 RIR, 1 to 2 RIR with reduced volume amount. Doing what we do right now is a lot more calculated, because we're going to these sessions with 1 RIR which doesn't require any neurological driving. You stay calm and collected, and you stay in a very relaxed place and still get the job done. So in essence, you're not in a detrained state. So next week I will be able to just switch it straight back on and mentally and physically be ready for it. If I was switching off completely or not training completely, it would take me a while to be able to switch it back on. So the analogy I always give for this is you have to warm the oven up before you start cooking. If you completely switch the oven off, you'll have to give it time to warm up before you can cook. What we do right now is we don't turn the oven off. We turn the oven down for a period of time, and then we can just switch it back up, and automatically to get it back to full heat doesn't take quite as long. The same principle applies with this. We'll be able to switch it straight back on because we've got to be physically ready for it. So this is almost giving us like a mental and physical break without totally resting, which for me is a far better option than totally resting. When I totally rest, I feel worse initially going back in the gym than I do actually being out of the gym. But don't get me wrong, some instances do require complete rest, depending on how far you take it. The key is timing, and the key is not taking it past that certain threshold so that you're not completely fucking trashed. As if you do get yourself in a state where you're completely trashed and you don't want to be in the gym, there's no point trying to do this because you're just prolonging the process. Then at that instance you would need to completely rest and then ease yourself back in the gym with an approach of obviously reduce volume first few sessions, and then titrate the volume intensity back up. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, comment below, motherfuckers. What was that?
good. It felt good to get back in the gym, to be fair. Don't you dare. Oh, he's so naughty. Caesar, challenge. You don't deserve Sylvester when you're being naughty. Well, yeah, my session was actually really good. All of my lifts, I stuck with my back working set, but managed to progress all of them. Did add a little bit more to the leg press. It doesn't matter because I still got more reps than last time. I'm actually really excited because we've just got our invite there. Big Pale Nasty, as everybody will know him, and his lovely bride-to-be Ellis ambassadors to go to their wedding. Dan absolutely loves the dogs, so he's welcome anytime. Ed's not because he doesn't like the dogs. But my session was great. I'm going to make some vegetables in a little while, so great day.
Just watching prelims and the vlogs for UFC. This is probably one of the most exciting fights and exciting cards in a long time. I'll give my predictions now, right? I've given earlier, but I've given predictions as well. I think, as much as I like Moreno,
Having Kamaru here, man, it just makes the team feel complete.
I think he's going to get knocked out.
Part of the camps for a long time, and
anyone who follows UFC and actually knows Figueiredo, they know that he's a savage. In the last fight they had, he did not look right. And the fight when he lost the decision to him as well, he won that fight. I honestly think he did. In the last fight, there was something wrong with him. I don't think even his weight cut was wrong, or he was sick, because he wasn't like himself. And I think the way he looks now and the way he looks at weigh-ins, I think he's going to eat him alive. A Ngannou fight, it's going to be a hard one. As much as I love Cyril Gane, I think he's going to have to really bring something special to the table. So it's such a hard fight, because as technical as Cyril Gane is, people really underestimate Ngannou's boxing. His fight IQ isn't that great in an octagon, but it's enough to be able to clip someone and catch him. But then again, I don't think he's ever faced anyone who can defuse people the way Cyril Gane can, so I'm really not sure. If I had to pick one person, I think Cyril Gane's going to win. I think he'll frustrate him, and I think he'll make too much mistakes. I don't think he'll be able to land a clean shot. We'll see.
And if you're wrong, I'll just delete this part from the vlog.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, then I'm just going to be like, Ed, don't put that in. Just put the in bit before. Right, my people, that is a wrap up for today. I'm actually going to make some food, make the dinner, and get recovered. But in general, very good session. I already feel a ton better. So as you could have seen, it was definitely hard to hold back today, especially the leg press set, as I matched my reps with ease in comparison to my last session. So I think next week we're going to see some fireworks in terms of training. So you'll see the difference now in what it should look like and how it should feel when you are fully recovered. So I'll get Ed to kind of do a sequel on this. So the next obviously video will be how to devolume, and then the one after that will be, you know, the mashup and the tear up straight after that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff, share some love on the channel, and comment below, as always, with anything that you do like or you don't like about the channel, anything that you want me to improve on as well. That is always more than welcome. Thank you, guys, and I hope you are all getting after it.